for the purposes of this presentation, mainstreaming means bringing it to the workplace. So a lot of us, we spend a significant amount of time at work, almost like 60-70% of our adult life is spent at the workplace, of our waking hours. And so is there a way to bring work, to break down the barriers between the two, much like this guy? So, and I believe that the answer is yes, and I think that the current environment sort of allows for it. So I'd like to talk about the concept of this thing called the social enterprise. So a lot of us run businesses or work in businesses, and I think a lot of us, we devote our times to pursuing profit, but at the same time we feel like there's something more that can be done rather than just pursue profit. And is there a way to bring our Buddhist practice into work? So the good news is that people have been thinking, not just us have been thinking about this, other people have also been thinking about this. So they have created something, a vehicle called social enterprise, in which it combines the financial and operational sustainability and rigor of a business together with the social impact that this business, being run in a particular way, could provide. So there are many examples of this, but just for Singapore, there are three pretty famous ones. So one is Shun Fa Bak Kut Teh and Dignity Kitchen, whom we talked about just now. And then, of course, there is the 18 Chefs, who's received quite a lot of coverage in the local media. And internationally, there are also big companies that are starting to pay attention to this space, brands that we have never really thought of. So from the Body Shop, to Ben & Jerry's ice cream, to Starbucks, there is an increased focus on environmental and social sustainability, gender empowerment, for example, by employing disadvantaged people. Okay, and then there is another kind of one specific area of social enterprises that I would like to talk about, and these are those concerned with mindfulness. So it's pretty interesting. I just came back from the United States, from San Francisco, and the kind of buzz that you see over there, the nexus between the tech companies as well as these providers of mindfulness services in the US is actually very palpable. So when I walked into the conference, there were quite a few discussion panels about how to involve compassion, to incorporate compassion and mindfulness into the workplace. You hear from people at Google, at Facebook, at Yahoo, and all these major tech companies having meditation spaces set out during lunch, and company employees even able to go on retreats for the duration of they get paid retreats every year, for example. And the important thing is that people have been able to make this into a business, mindfulness, and of course we would have our own reservations about this. Maybe it's yes or no, is it really Buddhism? Not very sure, but what I am sure about is that they have managed to make a lot of impact, and they have gotten a lot of eyeballs, and that people are for the first time understanding meditation and thinking about incorporating it into their lives. And there's some encouraging signs about social enterprises worldwide. As we look at, that's a statistic from the UK, of course the number is going up and up. And this is one I particularly like, because I was thinking for a while about doing my own MBA. So for MBA, a lot of schools, top business schools, are starting to incorporate social enterprise content into their course curriculum, Yale and Berkeley being two of them. Again, I promised the last slide with charts. So on the left, again, in Singapore, the number of times social enterprises has been mentioned is also steadily on the rise. And on the right, the chart shows, translating into action. If you had asked a Singaporean whether you care about social impact, the answer is yes. So 52% of us say we would pay more for products from socially, environmentally conscious companies. So the question that we want to ask here is, Buddhism can be very connected to social impact, and is there a way for us as a community to engage more in this area? So this provides, this trend of mainstreaming purpose, I would say, provides opportunities for us who are also interested in this space, and I believe as Buddhists, a lot of us are very concerned about social impact, environmental sustainability, just because, you know, I think as Buddhists, focus a lot on giving and service. And so, you know, if there's some way that Buddhist organizations, for example, by forming nexus of a community of practice of people, you know, are able to support this, I think that would be very interesting. So, lastly, I bring up the example of Mark Benioff, with the CEO of Salesforce. I mention him not because he runs a US $5 billion internet company. I mention him not also because he regularly practices meditation, but I mention him because he has used his impact and his leverage of a very big company to push socially maybe progressive agenda. So I think, and of course my favorite story from him is that when he heard that Thich Nhat Hanh was sick from a stroke in France, he, with his own expenses, flew Thich Nhat Hanh over from Paris to San Francisco for treatment at the most medically advanced hospitals. So just to do a really quick recap, the three trends: tech, demographics, and last one is mainstreaming purpose. I think we have quite a lot of space to play and to think about, you know, as a Buddhist community, what we can do in the next 5 to 10 years. I think technology will be a big way of leveraging that, and reaching out to the youth it will be especially important that we use technology to do so. And I'm optimistic that the future will be bright. So thank you very much.